We're back on the air in 5, 4, 3, 2.
We now return to WBFR Playhouse of the Air's presentation of Vintage Hitchcock. I'm glad to see so many of you are still with us. Oh dear, I see we won't be ready for another 60 seconds. However, thanks to our sponsor's remarkable foresight, we have a message that will fit in here nicely. Have you been looking for a vacation spot that's tailor-made for good times? Experienced travelers prefer the Bates Motel for its special personality, quiet dignity, and friendly charm. This new, completely modern motel offers accommodations with the latest improvements, including insulated walls, metal furniture, box springs, Venetian blinds, carpeted floors, free radios, and parking directly in front of the 12 guest rooms. Pleasantly air-conditioned in summer and snugly heated in winter, each room features a private tiled bath and an abundance of hot water. Nothing old-fashioned, but the hospitality that even Mother would say is second to none. The Bates Motel is truly an experience you will treasure the rest of your days. Just call for prompt teletype reservations. The third in this evening's jolly little trio. The third in this evening's jolly little trio of tales begins with a murder, and then things get really serious and the danger begins. Now, before you get the wrong idea, let me make one thing clear. I abhor violence. That is why, on this program, we use stabbing, shooting, and garroting only when they are absolutely essential to the plot or when the whim strikes. Our final play begins in a music hall, and the title is The 39 Steps. And that's all I intend to tell you. You'll have to figure out the rest yourself.
Ladies and gentlemen, with your kind attention and permission, I now have the honor of presenting to you one of the most remarkable men in the world, Mr. Memory.
Oh.
Every day he commits to memory 50 new facts. 50, ladies and gentlemen, facts from history, geography, newspaper, and scientific books. Millions and millions of them, and he remembers them all. Test him, ladies and gentlemen, test him. Ask him any question you like, and he will answer you fully and freely. Mr. Memory.
Oh.
Thank you.
A question, please. A question from anyone in the audience. Ladies first.
Where's my old man been since last Saturday?
On the boob.
His base.
A serious question, please.
What won the Derby in 1921?
Mr. Jack Jules, humorist, and Steve Dunhue up, won by a length at odds 6-1. Second and third, Craig and Aaron and Lemonora. Am I right, sir?
Right.
Oh.
Ooh.
Thank you very much. Question, please. Do not hesitate. Another question, please.
How do I click the
How
key?
does May
I'll do
work?
How
that.
far is
Shame.
Winnipeg from Montreal?
Who was the last British heavyweight champion of the world?
Oh, wow, that's funny. Henry VIII.
Henry
Oh, man. Huh.
Bob Fitzsimmons, he defeated Jim Corbett, heavyweight champion of America, at Carson City, Nevada in October 1897. He was then 34 years of age. Am I right?
Right.
Oh, how many
Nice.
races is that?
What? How many races? Like, what does May pass?
How old is May what?
How far is Winnipeg from Montreal?
Where's my old man with this last Saturday?
Madam, he's been where you can't ask him silly questions.
How far is Winnipeg from Montreal?
Miss Winnie who, sir?
How far is Winnipeg from Montreal?
Ah, gentleman from Canada. You're welcome, sir. Winnipeg, the third city of Canada and capital of Manitoba, distance from Montreal, 1,710 miles. Am I right?
Quite right.
Ooh, yeah. What about
How
the May West question?
How old is May West?
What's going on? Hey, stop pushing me. Stop pushing me.
Ah, get out of my way.
What's going on?
Hey, I'm
Stop
trying to
that.
ask him a question. Hey,
Stop it. Stop. Stop.
I'm
What's
just
going
trying
on?
to ask this man a question. Please, just move.
What in the devil do you think I'm doing?
Just get out of my way. Let me go first.
No, I was here first.
Gentlemen, please, you are not at home.
Ah!
Oh my
For God's sake, play something.
Ah! Ah! Oh my gosh! Ah!
Where's the exit?
Let the lady through. Stand back, please. Hold my arm, miss. I'll get you out of this. Get back. There, clear the aisle. This way, miss. There you are, miss. Take a good deep breath.
Thank you.
You all right?
Yes, I think so. I just had to get out of that theater, that's all.
A lot of people had that idea.
It wasn't the panic that frightened me. It was something else.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
I'm in terrible trouble. Will you help me?
What kind of trouble?
I can't tell you here. Can we go someplace and talk?
Well, my flat is nearby.
May I come home with you?
It's your funeral. Come on, there's a bus. Go in, miss.
Thank you.
Now, if I can't find this light switch...
Oh no! Don't turn on the lights. It will be safer.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
Will you pull down the blinds? Please?
Very well. It just puts me doubly in the dark. My name's Richard Hannay. Any objections to telling me yours?
No, it's Smith. Annabella Smith.
Smith? Really?
Is there anything wrong with it?
No, it's just an unusual name.
Do you want to know more about me? What do you think I do for a living?
Actress.
Not in the way you mean.
Chorus?
Certainly not. I'm freelance.
Out for adventure, eh?
That's right. Don't answer the telephone.
Why not?
Because I think it's for me. Please don't answer.
Say, what's this all about? You said you were in trouble?
You don't believe me, do you?
I believe you're slightly hysterical.
If I am, I have good reason. I was the one who fired those shots in the theater tonight.
You? Why?
To create a diversion. I had to get away from that theater, quickly. There were two men there who wanted to kill me.
You should be more careful in choosing your gentleman friends.
You've got to believe me.
Why should anyone want to kill you?
You wouldn't understand.
Well, you're not making it easy for me. A beautiful mistress woman pursued by gunmen. Sounds like a spy story.
That's exactly what it is. Only I prefer the word agent.
Agent? For what country?
Any country that pays me.
But what is your country?
I have no country.
Were you born in a balloon? I suppose you've come here to dig up some great big state secret.
No, I'm here to save a secret, a very important secret to this country, not because I love England, but because it will pay me better. The very brilliant agent of a certain foreign power is on the point of obtaining a secret vital to your air defense. I tracked 2 of his men to the music hall. Unfortunately, they recognized me. That's why they're after me now.
You ever heard of a thing called persecution mania?
You don't believe me.
Frankly, I don't, Annabella.
Very well. If you will go and look out the window, you will see 2 men standing across the street. I'd hoped I'd shaken them off. Look, please do.
Oh, all right, I'll play a game a bit further.
Oh, don't let them see you. Well?
By Jove, you're right. There's 2 of them. They seem to be looking up here.
Come away from the window, please. Do you believe me now?
I suppose I must.
I'm going to tell you something, which is not very healthy to know, but now that you followed me here, you're in this as much as I am.
So it seems.
Have you ever heard of the 39 steps?
No, what's that? A pub?
Never mind, but this much you must know. What you were laughing at is true. These men are ruthless, and I'm the only person who can stop them. If they're not stopped, it's only a matter of days, perhaps hours, before the secret is out of the country.
Why don't you just phone the police?
Because they wouldn't believe me any more than you did. And if they did believe me, how long do you think it would take to get them going? These men act quickly, and you don't know how clever the chief is. Clever and merciless.
What's his name?
The chief goes by a dozen names and can look like 100 people. But there's one thing he cannot disguise. The top part of his little finger on his right hand is missing. If you ever should meet a man with no top joint there, well, be very careful, my friend.
Thanks, I'll make note of it. Meanwhile, what are you going to do?
I'm frightened.
You needn't be. What you need is a good night's rest.
Oh, yes, I do.
You're welcome to my bed. I'll get a shakedown on the couch.
Are you sure you don't mind?
Sleeping on the couch? Well, I've done it a dozen times.
No, I mean being in danger.
I'm not quite convinced of that yet. Now, is there anything else I can get you?
Yes, have you a map of Scotland, please?
A map of Scotland? I have an atlas over here somewhere. If I could only find... Oh yes, here it is. You going deer stalking or just plain hiking?
There's a man in Scotland whom I must visit next if anything is to be done.
I see. Are the 39 steps in Scotland? By any chance?
Perhaps I'll see you tomorrow. Good night, Mr. Hannay.
Good night, Annabella. Pleasant dreams. Annabella! Annabella, was that you? Annabella, open that door! Annabella, will you open the door or do I have to break it down? Annabella, where are you?
Oh,
What's the matter?
They came through the window. One of them had a knife.
Annabella, you're bleeding. I'll call a doctor. It's dead.
You've got to stop those men. In a few days, they'll have the secret out of the country.
But how will I stop them?
Nick Rich, Professor, Scotland.
What's there? Who's the professor?
They'll get you like they did me.
Annabella!
Aberdeen Express, Edinburgh, Glasgow, Aberdeen, Kenridge, and Fort Williams. All aboard!
Ticket for Kenridge, please.
Sir,
Yes, one, and hurry, please.
one ticket to Cambridge, Scotland.
All aboard!
Excuse me, is this seat taken?
Not by us, it ain't. Sit down, young fellow.
Thank you.
Papers, magazines, chocolates, cigarettes.
I wonder what 1 or 2 o'clock at Windsor.
I don't know. Let's get a paper.
Paper, please. The Dispatch.
What one?
Bachelor Bud, 7 to 4 odds.
Good, not so good.
Hello, look at this. Woman murdered in the West End flat.
These sex dramas don't appeal to me.
Portland Mansion, Portland Place.
By the BBC. That's a nice, quiet place to put someone to sleep. What was she like? One of the usual? Another tipsy blonde?
A well-dressed woman of about 25 found with a knife in her back. Lieutenant Richard Hannay is missing. The police are hot on the trail and watching with careful eye all points from departure of London.
So that was what they were doing, eh?
Who?
Scotland Yard. Those bobbies. I've seen them get on this train. Ask him plenty of questions, they would too.
Looky here. There's a picture of that Hannay chap.
Let's have a squint at him. Rough-looking lot, ain't he?
Excuse me.
Say, young fellow, where are you going? Don't you like that?
I do, thank you, but I just remembered something.
In a bit of a hurry, wasn't he?
Excuse me, miss, but I have to do this.
Nothing in here, Chief, except a man grabbing a bit.
Let's go down the end and we'll double back.
I'm not accustomed to strange men barging into my compartment, let alone kissing me.
I assure you, miss, that I am no stranger than most, and kissing you was a way of hiding, not introducing myself. But I'm afraid if they come back, I'll be obliged to do it again.
Really? Well, I'm not interested. Now, will you please go?
I can't.
What? Why not?
It isn't safe.
Listen to me. Are you going, or shall I have to call the conductor?
Oh, no, don't do that. I just want your help. You see, my name is Richard Hannay.
Hannay? Why, you're the man the police are looking for.
Yes, but I'm innocent, I swear. Listen, you've got to help me. It's terribly important that I be free for the next few days. You will help me, won't you?
Yes, of course I will.
That's fine.
You say the police are on this train looking for you.
Yes, that's why I forced my way in here.
And just how am I supposed to help you?
They're looking for a man traveling alone. If I stay here with you, they'll think we're together and just pass us by.
Ah, how clever you are.
So you'll do it?
Yes, of course.
Say, you're alright. What's your name?
I'm Pamela Stewart.
Pamela. It's rather pretty. It suits you.
Thank you.
There they are now. Remember, I'll sit here and pretend to read. You do the talking.
All right. Come in.
Excuse me, have either of you seen a man pass here in the last few minutes? Young fellow, smooth-shaven.
Why, no. Wait, are you the police?
That's right, miss.
This is the man you want. He barged his way in here and told me his name is Richard Hannay.
Why?
Come here, you!
Let go of me.
Are you Richard Hannay?
Well, speak up.
Yes, and thank you very much, Miss Stewart.
Well, you didn't expect me to harbor a murderer, did you?
I'm not a murderer. I'd hoped you might give me the chance to prove that.
We'll see about that. Come on, Hannay.
Certainly, gentlemen. I'll go with you willingly. In fact, I'll lead the way.
Grab him!
Open that door!
He's holding it from the other side.
Here, let me try.
Together now. 1, 2, 3.
Where is he?
Where did he go?
There he is, down the passageway.
Come back here. Stop. Stop.
Have you got him?
He jumped off the train.
Well, he's probably lying dead in a ditch.
No, the last I saw of him, he was on his 2 feet and running like a rabbit.
Hannah escapes. Paper. Hannah escapes. Paper. Extra special. Hannah escapes from police. Paper. Extra extra paper.
Two days have passed, and Richard Hannay, wanted for a murder he did not commit, is still at large. Determined to discover the secret of the 39 steps, he's made his way to Scotland. The driver of a donkey cart is giving him a lift, and he's now on the last leg of the journey, the outskirts of the village of Altna-Shallock.
Are you going to stay long in Altenschlag, laddie?
Well, that all depends. I'm looking for work. You suppose I could find something?
I have my doubts, laddie. Altenschlag is a mighty small village. What do you do?
I'm a chauffeur.
Well, I'm thinking you better try somewhere else then.
Oh, I see. But aren't there any newcomers who might need a chauffeur?
Hey, now wait a minute. Hey, come to think of it, I did hear of something. About a retired professor who lives on a big house on the edge of the moors.
A professor? Yes, that's it. I can try it. Anyhow.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to see the master, please.
And what name shall I say, sir?
He wouldn't know my name. You might ask him if he knows Miss Annabella Smith.
Yes, sir.
Is that someone for me, George?
Oh, yes, Professor.
How do you do?
How do you do? My name is Hammond. I've come from London, from Annabella Smith.
Oh, well, do come in, please. You must be tired. We can talk in the library.
Yes, of course.
Go right in, please.
Thank you.
Sit down. Will you have a drink?
No, thank you.
Well, now, what did you want to see me about, Mr. Hannay?
Hannay? You know me?
Yes, I suppose it's safe to call you by your right name now. What about our mutual friend, Annabella?
She's been murdered.
I know. Poor girl. The police are looking for you.
Yes, but I didn't do it.
Oh, of course you didn't. But why come all this way to Scotland to tell me about it?
I believe she hoped to come see you about some air ministry secret. She was killed by a foreign agent who was trying to steal it.
Did she tell you what this foreign agent looked like?
Only one thing. She told me the top of his little finger is missing.
On which hand, Mr. Hannay?
On the left, I believe.
Are you sure it wasn't on the right?
It might have been.
Like on my hand, Mr. Hannay?
It's you. You're the one she...
The one she was trying to warn you against. The chief. You misunderstood her. She meant for you to kill me, not to bring me information.
What are you going to do about it?
Ah, that's just the point. What are you going to do? You see, I live here a respectable citizen. You must realize that my whole existence would be jeopardized if it became known that I'm not what I seem. You understand my position?
Yes, quite.
Mr. Hannay, why have you come here? Why have you forced me into this difficult position? I can't lock you up in a room or anything like that. There's my wife and daughters to think of. What makes it doubly important that I shouldn't let you go is that I'm just about to transfer some very vital information out of the country.
What?
Oh, yes, I've got it already. I'm afraid poor Annabella would have been too late in any case.
Well, that's that, I suppose.
If only it were that simple, but it seems to me we have unfinished business to attend to.
And what's that?
I have a small revolver here. Pretty little thing, isn't it? Suppose I left you with this. Tomorrow's newspapers could then announce that the Portland Place murderer had taken his own life.
You want me to kill myself? You're mad! I won't do it!
Then I'm afraid you've left me no alternative. You should have stayed in London, my friend. Oh, George! George!
Yes, Professor.
I want your help, please. There's a little job for us inside. We'll carry Hannah to the garage, and when it gets dark, we can drop him off on the road somewhere.
Where is he, sir?
Behind the table.
He is, sir?
Yes, pick him up and...
I'm sorry, sir, but there's no one here.
What?
You can see for yourself.
Why, I shot him. The body was lying there on the floor.
The body, sir, it seems to have disappeared.
Get out of the road, please. What do you mean by standing in front of my car? You might have been killed.
Sorry, lady. I just wanted a lift. Would you mind... Well, Miss Stewart, how do you do?
You? What are you doing here?
Oh, Richard Hannay is my name. I believe we've met before. On a train, wasn't it?
Yes, I think so.
And if I remember correctly, you handed me over to the police, didn't you?
Oh, get away from me.
Don't worry. I won't hold it against you.
Well, that's very kind of you.
What are you doing in Alton-le-Schlock?
I live here.
It's a charming place, isn't it? Do you know where the local police station is?
Of course I do.
Well, take me. And hurry, please.
Well, I suppose you know what you're doing.
Oh, yes, you see, I know who killed Annabella Smith.
Oh, is that so?
The same man who shot me a few minutes ago.
Shot you? Where?
Right in the cigarette case. See? There's a hole in one side of it. Funny little thing, cigarette cases. If I hadn't been carrying it about my breast pocket, the hole would have been in my chest. And to think of it, only last week I was trying to quit.
Just who was this arch-villain?
A gentleman called the Professor.
You don't mean Professor Bartlett.
Well, I didn't stop to inquire his name.
Oh.
Oh, come now, it isn't that funny at all.
Do you actually mean you're going to the police with this story? That Professor Bartlett shot you? That he's the one who killed the woman you're accused of killing?
I mean, of course, why not?
And you expect them to believe it, I suppose?
Well, you don't, evidently.
No, and neither will they. Professor Bartlett? A murderer? Why, he's one of the best-liked men in the village and a very good friend of the sheriff's. I'm sure the sheriff will be quite interested in your story.
Yes, I see your point. It hadn't occurred to me that. Stop the car, please. I'm getting out.
Oh, no, you're not. You said you wanted to go to the police. Well, that's just where you're going. And if you touch me or make a move to jump out, I'll turn this car into a ditch.
Well, aren't you the sweet little thing?
Now, you just sit tight, Mr. Hannay, and don't make any sudden gestures. We're going rather fast.
You haven't the nerve, of course.
Haven't I? Just try me.
All right. I will.
Don't touch that brake!
Hang on! Where are you? You all right?
Quite all right, thank you.
You little fool, why did you swerve? We might have been killed.
Hello there.
There's someone coming. Keep down.
Let go of me! Hello? Hello over here! Richard Hannay!
Why, you...
grab that man.
All right, Hannah, we got you. And don't try any funny business.
Stand up.
Yes, of course.
Are you the police?
We've been looking for you.
Put the handcuffs on him. One on him and the other on the girl.
Hey, what are you doing?
We are handcuffing you to your friend here.
Now you see what you've done?
Listen, you can't do this. I don't even know this man.
Get in the car, the both of you.
Will you please move over?
Are you talking to me?
Yes, I am. Ow, my wrist!
You asked me to move, and if I move, you move with me. It's a scientific fact that when two people are handcuffed together...
Officer, must I be chained to this man?
Aye, you must. And keep quiet about it.
Wait a moment. Where are you taking us? This isn't the way to the sheriff's office.
Just don't worry yourself about where we're going.
The real head we're going to see, the chief.
Would you like to have a small bet with me, Pamela Stewart?
All right, I'll have it with you, Sherlock.
I lay you 100 to 1 that the man they call the chief has the top joint of his little finger missing. Am I right, gentlemen?
You shut your mouth or we'll shut it for you.
You see, Pamela, I win. They're taking us to your charming old friend, the professor.
What are we stopping for?
The whole flock of sheep are crossing the road.
Blow the horn, maybe that'll scare them off.
Nothing gives. They won't move an inch. Oh, come on, we'll have to get out and shoo them off. Come on, keep moving.
Come on.
Now's our chance. We'll make a run for it. When I say jump, jump and run for your life.
But suppose they catch us.
Come on, jump!
Hey, look, they're getting away.
There they go. Give it to them.
They're shooting at us.
Come on, run for it!
Please, don't run so fast. You're hurting my wrist. I can't go any further. I've lost my shoe.
There are 20 million women on this island, and I'm chained to you. All right, then, fine. Go ahead and sit down for a minute.
Have we lost those men?
It's black as pitch on this mole. They'll never find us now.
You know, this is all very silly. You can't escape. What chance have you got handcuffed to me?
Keep that question for your husband, if you get one.
Oh, why don't you give yourself up?
To whom?
To Scotland Yard.
Thank you, but it's a little impractical at the moment. I told you the truth on the train, and I'm telling it to you now. There's a dangerous conspiracy against this country, and I'm the only man who can stop it. They were taking us to their boss, and God help us if they ever catch us again.
I see. You still sticking to your penny dreadful spy story.
Oh, all right, very well then. I'm just a plain common murderer who stabbed an innocent defenseless woman in Portland Place, London. I don't know how innocent you may be, but you're a woman, you're defenseless, and you're alone on a desolate moor in the dark, manacled to a murderer who'd stop at nothing to get you off his hands. If that's the situation you prefer, have it, my lovely, and welcome.
Well, I'm not afraid of you.
Why not? For all you know, I may murder a woman a week. So listen to a bit of advice. Do everything I tell you to do, and do it quick.
Oh, you big bully!
Gesundheit. I like your pluck, but you keep a civil tongue in your head. Otherwise, I might feel my next killing was a bit overdue. All right, on your feet now.
Where are we going?
I see some lights over that way. We'll do a little investigating.
kind of a place do you think this is?
Well, I don't know. Looks like an inn. Now remember to back me up on everything I say or do. Do you understand?
Yes.
Now stay close to me and hold my hand. It'll hide the handcuffs. Good evening.
Good evening. Welcome to the King's Head Tavern. And what can I do for you and the lady?
Well, we had an accident with our car a few miles back.
Well, that's too bad now. You want to stay the night, I suppose?
Yes, we do.
Will it be 2 separate rooms or 1?
2 separate rooms.
1 room, please. 1.
Well, which?
1, thank you.
1. And what's the name?
Hawkinson. Hawkinson. Henry Hawkinson and Miss Hawkinson.
Well, come along, Mr. and Mrs. Hawkinson. The room's at the top of the landing.
Nice place you have here.
Thank you. Here's the room.
Thanks very much.
Well, good night to you.
Oh, wait, please. You mustn't go.
What's the matter? Is there anything wrong?
Yes.
Of course there's
Well,
nothing wrong. She wants to tell you something, that's all.
Yes,
You see, we're a runaway couple.
Are you now?
Yes, as a matter of fact, we've been running all night. If anyone inquires for us, you won't give us up, will you?
Of course not. I was young myself once. Night.
Good night. I'm sorry, Pamela.
Of all the outrageous things. Listen, you don't expect I'm going to spend the night in this room with you.
Personally, I don't see how you can help yourself.
I didn't ask to come with you.
And I didn't invite you. But here we are.
Well, aren't you afraid the men will find us?
I'm not thinking of that so much as the way to get out of these handcuffs.
Oh, I have a nail file in my pocket. Maybe that'll help?
That would be dandy if you filed 24 hours a day. 10 years from now, we might be free. Imagine tied to you for 10 years. It's a horrible thought.
I've had enough of your insults. I'm going to tell the innkeeper the whole story.
You want me to hang for a murder I didn't commit?
As long as you hang, I don't care whether you committed it or not.
What a bloodthirsty creature you are. Haven't you any pity?
Nope.
Ow, what are you up to now?
I'm trying to file the handcuffs.
Well, don't jab me in the wrist that way. I don't like it.
I'm sorry.
You're going about it a very amateurish fashion anyway. I can see you know nothing about filing handcuffs.
At least I'm trying to do something.
Well, if you don't mind, I think I'm going to try to get some sleep. I haven't had a wink in 48 hours.
Well, I'm not in the least bit tired.
You don't mind if I stretch out in this chair, do you?
Not at all.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night. But I don't see how you can sleep at a time like this.
Watch me.
Listen. Did you hear that? There's a car out there. It just drove up.
It's your imagination.
It was not my imagination. I heard a car. Well, all right, if you don't care.
I don't care. I just don't care.
It's early the following morning. Richard Hannay stirs restlessly in the armchair, rubbing his sleepy eyes. Suddenly, he jumps up from the chair, staring down at the handcuffs now dangling from his wrist. Pamela Stewart has freed herself and sits across the room.
Good morning, Mr. Hawkinson.
How did you get free?
Oh, very simple. A little work while you had your beauty sleep.
I suppose you filed the handcuffs?
No, I picked the lock. I was trying to do the same for you, but the file broke.
Say, what's wrong with you? Why are you being so nice? You don't feel ill or anything, do you?
No, why should I?
Why didn't you leave? You were very anxious last night, if I remember correctly.
Well, something happened last night that convinced me that you've been telling the truth. When I got free, I went downstairs. That car you said I imagined belonged to our pursuers. They were sitting downstairs when I got there.
Did they see you?
No, I hid behind the counter. They asked the innkeeper about us.
What did she say?
She said she hadn't seen us. Then they ordered something to eat, and while they were eating, they talked a lot about the 39 steps.
The 39 steps?
And don't ask me what that means because I don't know, but the professor was clearing out of the country.
Then he's got the secrets. Did they say how soon he was leaving?
No, but they did say that he was going to London to pick up someone at a music hall.
39 steps. London Music Hall? Doesn't make any sense. Which room are these men in?
Oh, they left about 4 or 5 hours ago.
Wait, you let them go after hearing what they said? 4 or 5 precious hours wasted? Oh, you button-headed little idiot.
Don't you speak to me like that!
My dear girl, I am accused of murder, and the only way I can clear myself is to expose those spies.
Then why don't you go to Scotland Yard?
What's the use? You said yourself they wouldn't believe me.
Well, then why don't I go to Scotland Yard?
Hey, why not? They'd listen to you.
Of course they would.
Come on, we'll get the next train for London. What should I order?
You wish to order now, sir?
No, thank you. I'm waiting for someone.
I beg your pardon, sir, but your face looks familiar. Are you someone famous?
No, can I... No, I'm not. Can you bring me a bottle of ale, will you?
Very good.
Make that 2, please.
Yes, miss.
Pamela, sit down. What happened? Did you go to Scotland Yard?
Yes, and prepare yourself for a shock. They checked every possible channel, but the Air Ministry is positive there are no papers are missing that would be of any possible interest to spies.
That's incredible. Are you sure?
Well, that's exactly what they said.
I don't know what to make of it.
I think you've been tricked.
Oh, it certainly is bewildering.
Oh, I'm sorry, Richard. Really, I am. Look, I think you'd better go now.
Go where?
Any place. Leave the country. I'll help you. Oh, I know it sounds funny, but somehow I couldn't bear the thought of them catching you again.
Why, Pamela?
I guess I just changed my mind about you, that's all. I suppose you're as vain as a peacock, and I couldn't stand you for any length of time, but you're something else.
You know, if I won in this jam, I'd...
What?
Nothing. Nothing. What's that tune you're whistling?
That silly one of yours. Must have picked it up.
Wait a minute. Pamela, you're brilliant!
Me? What did I do?
That tune, now I remember where I've heard it before. And I know where we have to go.
Where?
Follow me.
Here your seat, sir. First in the aisle.
Thank you. Sit down, Pamela.
This is silly. The show's almost over.
Be quiet, I'm just playing on a hunch. That's all.
Ladies and gentlemen, with your kind permission and attention, I now have the honor to present to you one of the most remarkable men in the world. I present Mr. Memory.
Emma, look in the box at the top right of the stage. See that tall man sitting in front? He's the professor himself.
You have got to get out of here before they see you.
No, sit down, listen.
Every day he commits to memory 50 new facts, and he remembers every one of them. Facts from history, from geography, from newspapers, from science.
Pamela, I've got it! I've got it!
Got what?
Of course there are no papers missing. All the information's inside Mr. Memory's head.
I still don't understand.
Don't you see? The details of the Air Ministry secret were borrowed, memorized by this man, then replaced before anyone could find out. That's why the professor's here, to take Mr. Memory out of the country.
How old is May West?
How deep is the ocean?
When did Florence Nightingale die?
How large is China?
Pardon me, sir, but there are some gentlemen that want to speak to you.
Who, me?
Are you Richard Hannay?
Well,
You're under arrest.
Wait, officer, look, there's something here you ought to know.
Come along quietly.
But that man on stage!
Don't cause any trouble and spoil people's entertainment.
Question, please. Do not hesitate.
Wait a minute. Mr. Memory, what are the 39 steps? Come on, answer up. What are the 39 steps?
The 39 Steps is an organization of spies collecting information on behalf of the Foreign Office of...
Ah!
Oh no, what happened?
Oh my god!
Ah!
It's that man up there in the box who shot him. Stop that man!
Stop that man. Stop him.
Keep your seats, please. There's no need for alarm, no cause for alarm. Is there a doctor in the house? Is there a doctor?
I want to see Mr. Memory, please. Where's his dressing room?
Number 5, but you can't go in now.
I'm afraid we have to. Detective, have you a pencil and piece of paper?
Yes.
I want you to write down everything you hear.
Now, listen here. I don't know what this...
Do as he tells you, please.
I'm going to prove to you that the man who shot Mr. Memory is the same one who murdered the woman I'm accused of killing.
What is it?
We want to see Mr. Memory. How is he, Doctor?
Pretty bad. Did they get the man who shot him?
We got him, all right. What's this all about?
Mr. Memory, can you hear me?
Yes.
Mr. Memory, there's something I'd like you to tell us, please.
Yes.
What is the secret formula you were taking abroad?
Would it be all right, me telling you, sir? It was a big job to learn it. The biggest job I ever tackled. And I don't want to throw it all away.
It'll be quite all right.
The first feature of the new engine is its greatly increased ratio of compression, represented by R minus R over to the power of gamma, where R represents the ratio of compression in gamma, seen in end elevation, the axis of the two lines of cylinders. This device renders the engine completely silent. Am I right, sir?
Quite right, old chap.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I'm glad it's off my mind at last.
This way, please. We can pick up the police car on the corner.
The police car? Where are you taking us?
To Scotland Yard, of course.
Scotland Yard?
But you can't do that. You heard what that man said. He didn't kill anybody.
Easy now, easy. He'll be all right. All we want to do is put the story on the record.
Oh.
Oh, that's better.
Nothing to worry about at all. He'll be a free man in about an hour, Mrs. Hannah.
Mrs. Hannah? What are you talking about?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought...
Mrs. Hannay. That'd be fine. That would. We were together for 1 day and we fought 24 hours.
20. You were asleep 4 hours.
Could you imagine what it would be like? Fight for breakfast, fight for lunch, fight for dinner. One long, drawn-out battle for the next 30 or 40 years.
Oh, 40 years? Do you think we could even keep it up that long? I mean, really?
Well, we could try.
You'll be relieved to hear that Pamela and Hannah's story ended happily. They did not get married. And that concludes WBFR Playhouse of the Air's presentation of Vintage Hitchcock, our offering for tonight. But I have not reached the end of my rope. Next week you will hear from me again without a shadow of a doubt. Put your suspicion to rest and join us each and every week for what I assure you will be something rich and strange that will be sure to leave you spellbound. Until next time, good evening.